Ladies and gentlemen, by way of introduction,
I don't think any words can explain a man's life.
The broadcasting system and its affiliated stations present
Columbia Network takes pride in presenting...
We take you now to Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Mercury Theater and star of these broadcasts...
It was a voice. Just a voice. I never really saw him. He was only
the hero,
Orson Welles,
a great lover,
Orson Welles,
and a dirty dog.
Orson Welles.
Good morning, this is Orson Welles speaking.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Orson Welles.
this is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen.
This is Orson Welles speaking.
I'm a Unicron.
Well, here it is, if anybody wants to see it.
And there's the bell. Everybody, please come and take your seats. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, go ahead and have a seat. We are about to begin.
And there's no stopping this ball from rolling, God damn it.
No, as a couple of fine people once sang, nothing's going to stop us now.
Right. I was going for a...
We can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Sorry.
See, I was going for something Sisyphusian, as in it's like we've committed to this. We might as well keep rolling this ball up the goddamn hill. This large ball.
And then when it rolls back down, we roll it right back up again.
Well, what if the ball from the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark was actually just Orson Welles on his side? Yeah, and that's what we've got. That's what we've got. I'm sorry. That's probably incredibly mean.
That is insanely mean and honestly a little fat-phobic.
So sorry. I'm so sorry. Cancel me.
I will
goddamn.
I would never cancel you on your own podcast. How dare I?
Full disclosure, I have been zooted out of my mind on Dayquil and NyQuil for the past week. We delayed this recording for a week because I have been gonzo. So that's the energy we're starting off with.
We're both of us in a great headspace. I spent the last hour of my shift today on a single phone call. So we're just both in just optimal headspaces. Let's be clear.
We got the robot working at work for the first time in 4 months today.
Hey,
I know, right? And I got giant googly eyes to put on it. So
hey, you and your googly eyes. I swear,
man. It's what do you mean? The microphone has googly eyes on it right there. It's great.
I know it does because I've seen the pictures.
It's like I'm talking to a friendly face directly.
That is staring at you agape.
Yeah, you're in like the digital cyberspace here. You're just a series of ones and zeros to me.
As ever I have been, as ever I will be.
I am asleep on the keyboard and you're just wake up, Neo. Just like, yeah.
Wow, amazing that you would go right to the Matrix.
What?
This has been just a wild stream of consciousness today from your TAs.
Yay.
This is Wells University. Welcome back to class, my friends. I am one of your TAs, Stephen Foxworthy. My pronouns, he, him.
I'm Hope Stow, she, her. And we accept Rolling Stones of all shapes and sizes here at Wells U. Just gonna dig myself deeper. It's like you got to dig yourself out eventually, right?
Yep. Well, one would think, and yet, here we are
in the year of our Lord 2025, talking about 1934. Is it, Stephen?
1934. Today we are discussing the first piece of writing that we're crediting Orson Welles with. Again, this podcast all about the life and work of Orson Welles. And as of last week, we started talking about capital T, the capital W work, which will be our consistent theme throughout the podcast up to this point. So going forward, we're kind of going to be jumping from project to project and filling in relevant gaps as needed along the way. So yeah, we'll sometimes there'll be like a year or two in between projects, and we'll try to fill in the gaps as best we can. Last week we talked
was looking for money.
That's going to be most of it. Yes.
I mean, that's 90% of it. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Orson Welles' corporate shell. We're gonna get to that episode. One of these days, at some point, Hope and I are gonna like take like some pauses for the cause and just record like some supplementary episodes about like various topics and things, including Orson Welles' fuckboy, Orson Welles' corporate shill. We've got some. Promised. Yes, I mean we promised that in our first fucking episode, Hope. So.
We promised that like 6 months before we began recording. So, yeah.
Well, before we started releasing, yeah.
Yeah, well, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God in heaven.
This project has been gestating long before it met your ears, dear listener. But yes, today we are talking about a book or a series of books, depending on kind of how you look at it. And honestly, the production history on this thing is or I should say publication history on this is a fucking mess with no consistent answers. So I'm going to do the best I can with that because every source I read had something different to say about it. But we're talking about the book that he co-wrote with Roger Hill. No, not the play he co-wrote with Roger Hill, but the book he wrote with Roger Hill called Everybody's Shakespeare.
Now,
and
I think you mean...
Sorry,
my apologies. Sorry, I think you mean real quick the play he wrote with lowercase letters, smaller font. Roger Hill. Roger Hill.
Yes.
Roger Hill was also here. Orson Welles and Roger Hill.
Again, look at the cover of that play. Follow the link we included in the episode previous to last episode. And you'll see it in all its glory. But no, Everybody's Shakespeare, or as it was released later in 1939 as The Mercury Shakespeare. We're going to talk about both editions today. So yes, we're covering from 1934 to 1939, but we're going to circle right back to 1934 next week when we talk about the next project, which is Hearts of Age, his first film. No, his first film was not Citizen Kane, bitches. Surprise! Gotcha.
What? Pedantry on a podcast about Orson Welles? No.
How could we ever?
Say it ain't so.
Now, yeah, Citizen Kane is, of course, his first feature, but he did make at least one short film. In fact, several very short films as part of plays later on, which we'll talk about when we get into stuff like the hilariously named Too Much Johnson, and several other plays like that. Well, we will talk about the theatrical work starting week after next, in point of fact. So very excited to get into that.
I know it's going to come up a lot, especially in the early days, but like anytime the title Too Much Johnson crops up, I'm just like, nope, okay. My mind is going to take a vacation for about 4 seconds and we're back. Yep.
That episode is going to be rough for you, Hope. That episode is going to be. I don't think it comes up until next year, so you're fortunate that you can wait till the new year before we have to engage with Too Much Johnson. But at some point, we're going to have to wrestle with Too Much Johnson.
God.
At some point, we're going to have Too Much Johnson on our hands, and we're going to have to handle it.
I have nothing. I want to reply with something witty and Austin Powers-esque, but like my brain just shuts down, collapses. It cannot withstand the onslaught of, in fact, Too Much Johnson.
You don't know what to do. There's just Too Much Johnson.
Just Too Much Johnson.
Not too many Johnsons. No. Too much Johnson. Good God. How have we gotten... How has it taken us until episode 9 of this podcast to even broach the fact that there was a play called Too Much Johnson?
I should just take my NyQuil now, just for shit to get real weird. Yeah, like, okay, we got an hour until shit gets crazy, man.
Did we mention the headspace that we're both in this episode? This one was always going to get fucking weird.
Yeah, welcome to Wells University After Dark.
What do you mean there's too much Johnson? Some of us don't have enough.
Oh, I could make so many jokes right now.
I'm setting you up and just admiring your restraint is what I'm doing right now.
How deep into the trans experience do we want to go, or do we want to talk about how on May 11th, 1934, the Great Dust Bowl storm sweeps across the American and Canadian prairies, traveling as far as the East Coast, Bonnie and Clyde are killed on May 21st in an ambush near Sales, somewhere in Louisiana. Fuck it. June 30th. This guy, name keeps popping up. I wonder if we're going to hear more about him. Adolf Hitler stages a bloody purge of the Nazi Party in the Night of the Long Knives.
Oh, interesting.
July 4th. Happy Independence Day because Hungarian physicist Leo Szilard, if I'm not saying that correctly, just accept
I can't imagine you are.
patents the chain reaction design for the atomic bomb. August 3rd, that Hitler fella merges the offices of German Chancellor and President, declaring himself, quote, Führer, parentheses, leader. Ooh, uh-oh.
It's amazing that nothing like that has ever or will ever happen again.
It's certainly not going to parallel anything we're talking about today on the show, and it's certainly not going to parallel anything we're going to be talking about in modern day history.
Right.
Just,
nothing like that had ever happened before, and nothing like it will ever happen again. Thank goodness, too.
I don't open up Reddit every morning and just go, now what?
Hope, why do you not fucking do that to yourself? Please.
Okay, because I tell myself
Please.
no fucking Reddit after 8 p.m. No doom scrolling after 8 p.m. And it's
you know what?
Thing that is
no Reddit between the hours of 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. Just don't do it.
That leaves me 1 minute to update my Christina Ricci page. Great.
Oh, I forgot you're a Reddit mod. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a psychopath like that. I totally run a gimmick for fun.
I would never fucking do that. You could not pay me to run a Reddit page.
No, it's such a chill little nothing community. It's great. We are up to day 1595 of r/Christina Ricci Daily. Join us, won't you? Either way, on October 16th, Mao Zedong and 25,000 troops begin their 6,000-mile-long march from the south of China to the north and west. More at 11. December 1st, Leningrad Mayor Sergei Kirov is assassinated, and Joseph Stalin, that's a funny fellow, uses it as an excuse to begin his great purge of 34 to 38.
We're really just talking about the pillars of modern history today, aren't we? God. Hitler, Stalin, and Orson Welles.
I mean, this is kind of why I like Orson Welles so goddamn much. He's in his late teens, early 20s during this window of history, and he's going through upsettingly a lot of the same stuff we're going through. Rise of new media, rise of fascism is back in trending. They're trying to, we're dealing with fucking prohibition of weed rather than prohibition of alcohol, but all sorts of weird shit. February 22nd in film and TV, It Happened One Night, directed by Frank Capra and starring Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, opens at New York's Radio City Music Hall. Gets Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Screenplay.
I've never seen it.
Neither have I.
It is one of my good friend Brett Wright's favorite rom-coms, and like among his kind of upper echelon. And like I've never seen it. Like it's kind of an embarrassment on my part that I've never really engaged with that movie.
Oh God, let's see.
Do you want to hear Orson Welles' thoughts on Frank Capra?
Yeah, actually, because I've got another thing about Frank Capra in a moment. Once you pull that up, in fact, I will read that, or if you're ready.
I'm looking. I'm trying to find it on the page here.
Vamp faster.
He's talking about W.C. Fields, and Peter Bogdanovich asks him if he was friendly with W.C. Fields. Friendly? One of his pen names was an in-joke just for me, Mahatma Cain Jeeves. The Jeeves part of it came from my telling him he ought to read P.G. Wodehouse because he's so funny. That kind of bothered Uncle Claude, that somebody else was funny. Generosity was not his salient virtue. He says, what about Frank Capra? Enormous skill, but always that sweet Saturday Evening Post thing about him. Bogdanovich said, his pictures have an incredible pace. Wells said, don't they just? I saw Mr. Smith Goes to Washington again a while ago on television. That cast! Imagine a comedy today with a troupe of actors like that. As you say, the speed of it. how much faster comedies were when directors were laboring under the terrible burden of producers who kept telling them to snap it up. The performance of Jimmy Stewart is beyond praise. So there you go. That's
amazing.
Orson Welles on Frank Capra.
Fucking amazing. Love that. Doesn't Orson like perform on like a Dean Martin sketch show with Jimmy Stewart later on?
Oh, he
like, the
performs
70s?
on the Dean Martin show frequently. I'm not sure about
yeah.
Jimmy Stewart. I can look that up, but I have
I'm
the
like
feeling both of
80%
them were in the Dean Martin roasts or something.
That
I'm sure
feels
both of
like
them
they were
had
in the same sphere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at the 6 Academy Awards on March 16th, Cavalcade and its director Frank Lloyd and Charles Laughton and Katharine Hepburn win. Host Will Rogers announces, "Come and get it, Frank," and Frank Capra gets up. How'd you like that? Will Rogers telling you, "Come and get it, Frank."
What a that has the same kind of energy, but less offensive than the Sean Penn "who the fuck gave this guy his green card" Alejandro Iñárritu when Birdman won for Best Picture. Yeah, that's some. I watched that with a Mexican friend of mine, and he was fucking livid. Like, he was so pissed off, and I was like, dude, I'm pissed off with you. That fucking sucks. Sean Penn is an asshole and a piece of shit. And Iñárritu's like, yeah, it was just an inside joke, and I'm like, that's not the kind of inside joke you tell in public.
Yeah, dude. On April 19th, Shirley Temple appears in her first feature-length film, Stand Up and Cheer. And hey, June 9th, the first appearance of Donald Duck in the cartoon The Wise Little Hen. Fuck yeah, Donald Duck.
I fucking love Donald Duck. One of the all-time great cartoon characters. Hope, I got a question
He
for
is
you.
my boy. Yes. Tell me your question. Or ask me your
I
question.
have a feeling that I know the answer already, but I need to ask you, like, just live in front of everyone on the mic.
Oh, God.
Donald Duck or Daffy Duck?
Oh, Donald Duck. All the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Daffy Duck suffers, unfortunately, from character degradation over the course of his history. He started off as something truly daffy and, bouncing all around, woohoo, 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 woohoo. And then he just became kind of an asshole. And I don't mind the kind of an asshole, but he's not like an independent character. He needs somebody to bounce off of in order to make him like sing, like Duck Amuck. Even you have to have him bounce off the author. It's truly amazing.
That's an amazing piece of work for sure.
Fucking perfect. I have nothing against Daffy Duck, but given a choice between the two of them, I will choose my good PTSD boy who has vocal issues any goddamn day of the week.
As soon as I conceived the question and started to ask it, I remembered all those episodes of DuckTakes where you refer to Donald as your sweet, sweet PTSD boy. And I was I already know how she's going to answer this question. I don't need to ask it, but now that I've started, I can't stop. So.
It's still like 4 tattoos down the line, but I am getting a tattoo of Donald Duck holding a chainsaw. Still got to figure out where I'm putting that one. Not entirely sure.
She says, looking at her body for unmarked spaces. The first tattoo I saw that made me want to get a tattoo was a tattoo of Donald Duck that some guy had on his shoulder.
Nice.
Where he was like had his arms crossed and like a sour look on his face. And I was like, I want to put cartoon characters all over my body. As it stands right now, I have
that process.
0 cartoon characters on my body. The only thing I have is a bluebird on my shoulder. Not because of Song of the South, but because my grandfather had a bluebird tattoo, and I got that in memory of him. But yeah,
I wouldn't have even made the Song of the South connection. I would have said, "Hey, They Might Be Giants. It's a blue canary in the outlet of the light switch. Yay!"
Except it's a Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder.
Well, then you're kind of fucking boned, aren't you? Hey,
no, because I know what it's for. I know what it's about.
I've got Star Wars and Ghostbusters tattooed on me, and there's nothing problematic about those fan bases.
Nope. Nothing at all. Especially considering how those fan bases feel about your 2 favorite entries in those franchises.
Oh God. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Real quick, I'm going to piss off everybody real quick. Let's do an official I'm gonna give you Hope's official Ghostbusters ranking. You ready?
Oh, nice.
Number 1, With a Bullet. You really can't beat it. It's an undeniable film. It's a magic trick of a movie. Ghostbusters 1984. It's perfect. It is. You just can't beat it. It's perfect.
It is.
Number 2, With a Bullet. 1997's Men in Black, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. It's the same fucking goddamned energy of a movie. Amazing fucking practical effects, a fucking crazy star-studded cast, wild bullshit, oblivious New Yorkers. It's perfect. And then number 3, With a Bullet, Ghostbusters 2016. Because I, as it turns out, wanted to be Kate McKinnon. So yeah, I walked out of that.
You had known that at the time.
I literally walked out of that movie and said, I want to be Holtzman, and still didn't figure it out for another 5 years. So
you had to get there at your own pace.
Real
had to get there in your own time.
Real fast fucking learner, me. Christ alive. It's really nice having like my full psychological profile develop via podcasts over the past 4.5 years.
That's very true, actually.
Yeah. If you go back and listen to my first appearance on Disenfranchised and then keep listening, it's like, oh, I know what this bitch is about. Okay, I see all of these. These are all red flags that I'm like marking like Minesweeper. It's amazing.
I remember you telling me shortly before your second appearance on Disenfranchised that we were like the first people to like publicly call you Hope, like on and like any kind of, and you heard yourself like referred to as Hope and you didn't get it at first and you're like, oh shit, they're talking about me. That's awesome.
Social transitioning is weird to say the least.
I cannot even imagine what that is like. Again, especially as a weirdo cishet male who's just trying desperately to be as good an ally as he possibly can be. Like, I can't even fathom what that is.
I appreciate everything you've done and attempted for me and all of that. It's just,
well, I fucking love you, girl. Like you are, man. You're one of my best friends. I fucking love you to death. You're the best.
Text every goddamn day. Listeners / students, if we can crossfade the kayfabe for a moment. Stephen is the most notorious goddamned multi-texter I have ever met in my goddamned life. Every person that I text on a regular basis gets a dedicated text tone because I'm a psychopath.
You
like
are.
That.
In that regard, you are.
So, like, when Bex texts me, it's this random snippet from a Brian David Gilbert short. Or when Jen texts me, it's Ray Parker Jr. Bustin' makes me feel good.
Because Steven why wouldn't it?
Yeah, but when Stephen texts me, it's, no, the French champagne is often noted for its excellence. And Stephen will text me 7 times in a goddamned row, usually while I'm at work, with a single earbud in, trying to figure out how to achieve a 45 fucking degree angle on a consistent goddamned press break. And I'll just hear in my earbud, as I'm trying to listen to a different podcast, the volume will drop on that podcast and it'll just go, the French champagne. Oh, the French champagne is often noticed. The French champagne. It sounds like Orson is having a stroke. I know on days when we are recording, like we had planned to last week.
Last week must have been miserable for you. I'm so sorry.
The fucking telltale heart in the floorboards, man. It was fucking deranged.
I'm so sorry.
Oh boy.
Here's the thing. I am one of those people who, yes, I could text everything in one like block of text, but I will break it up for the consistency, but also for like the pacing of the conversation, because I'm a weirdo who considers the pacing of a text conversation. Like, who the fuck does that? Me. That's who. I do that. Like,
I have friends who do the opposite and just text one giant goddamn thing, but it's all separated by ellipses. And it's like, are you mad at me? I can't tell. So I understand and I appreciate later on when I'm reading the text messages, it is appreciated. When I am, say, driving home from getting engaged and I get 15 messages in the space of 45 seconds that are all just GIF reactions.
Well, in fairness, you had just fucking told me you'd gotten engaged.
I
What
did.
the fuck
I
else do you
did.
expect from
I
me?
tell you that I got engaged, and then I get in a car and drive home for an hour, so I can't
How
respond. So that's on
fucking
me.
dare you? That is
know.
100% on you, girl.
Fucking
How dare
shame on
you?
me.
Just let me feel my joy, Hope. Let me share your joy with you via GIFs, animated GIFs in a text conversation, because that is about half of my communication is animated GIFs. I pride myself in trying to find the perfect GIF for every conversation.
I respect it. Good Christ alive. So Jane Goodall was born in 1934. I put down the list of shit that happened in that
It's
year
fine.
anyway. Yeah,
We
it's
can move
fine.
on.
Whatever.
It's fine.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
Fucking Shakespeare. Everybody's here. Who cares? All right.
All right. So after the rejection of both Marching Song and Bright Lucifer, 17-year-old Orson Welles was offered two potential paths forward.
This motherfucker is still only 7 goddamn teen. What the fuck?
Right? Insane. Insane.
9, 10? What fucking episode is this, Steven?
9. We're on episode 9. Next week we hit double digits, Hope. It is exciting. Next week we're going to talk about the Hearts of Age. Next week we might, I hope, seriously have our first guest. And next week we're going to talk about his first film. And honestly, a bulk of that conversation, because that is not a long film, it's about 8 minutes, eight and a half minutes, is going to be about My Bachelor Party, a thing that we have mentioned on our very first episode. We're going to circle back around to it because that is the first time our potential guest and I first experienced it. And if he doesn't guest on that episode, he will guest on something else, because he will at least guest when we get to it in 20 years, The Other Side of the Wind, because that is one of his favorite movies of all time.
That's valid. That's exciting. All right, good.
Which is another thing we experienced for the first time at My Bachelor Party. But hopefully we can discuss that in a little bit more detail next week. As it stands, yes, Orson Welles only 17. But he's offered two potential paths forward, one from each of his surrogate fathers. The first from Dr. Maurice Bernstein, who is anxious to keep Orson away from acting on the stage at any costs, proposes that the boy follow in his mother's footsteps and join the Chautauqua circuit. That's a teaching circuit that kind of would tour the country. They would have it started in Chautauqua, New York, and then would kind of just travel around. But is this kind of learning experience where people would go to teach, sing, they would recite poetry, perform, and offer commentary kind of in between those things. But it's like, go into your mother's footsteps, play music, recite poetry, offer commentaries in between. And Orson felt very strongly about the poetry and the commentary. Music, while something that he always retained, was always something that he was loath to perform because it reminded him so much of his mother. He really didn't engage much with it after graduating from Todd. And most commentators, in this case, Callow specifically, presumes it might have been too painful for him to do something that closely related to his mother, because that death is, I think, the single most influential event in the young boy's life. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we've got Skipper Hill, who says, hey, you know what? Maybe we should write a book. Let's take all the methods that we learned, that we used at Todd for teaching and performing Shakespeare, and let's write a book to kind of put those into like the public consciousness.
That worked so well with John Brown.
In fairness, John Brown is not Shakespeare.
Yes. You sure about that? We sure about that? Have we ever seen John Brown and William Shakespeare in the same room together?
You know what? Fair point.
John Brown can't be Shakespeare. John Brown wears glasses, sir.
John Brown has a beard. Shakespeare barely has a beard. He puts it on when he transforms. That's ridiculous.
John Brown running into a phone booth.
Hill's motives, according to Callow, were twofold. One, to keep Orson occupied, which apparently was a full-time job for these two men. And two, putting to use the Todd...
for us! And he's dead!
And here's the thing, it's not a full-time job for us. This podcast comes out twice a week, and we dedicate a night every couple of weeks to trying to put it together.
We have to play it up. We are full-time TAs. I get paid to do this. Damn it.
Oh, where's my paycheck? I don't get paid for shit.
Let me talk to the
argue up to this point. I've done more work than you.
You certainly fucking have. I do not. My God, I am so sorry. The imposter syndrome is strong.
Hope, I will say, looking at the schedule, we will be into radio territory before the end of the year.
Oh, I yearn for the
certainly,
radio period.
Certainly getting to the radio period.
I'm going to talk up the radio period, so that way I have nothing to do but fail. There's no way to go but down for me on this one. Like, I'm just going to hype it the fuck up. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to listen to this shit, because I have been listening to this shit for fucking years. So,
I mean, you don't have to go down. You could just be a lateral move. You just straight across.
Just straight across. Just keep skirting along.
Just straight across. Yeah.
All right. All right. Fair
what
enough.
do we think of someone who only does the bare minimum?
We applaud them. We applaud them and say you are entitled to housing and food and education and transport the same as anybody else that does,
because those are
work than you.
Basic fucking human rights.
Human rights. Hey, what's that on my bookshelf? Uh-oh. It's my 30-year-old copy of The War of the Worlds. Whoops. Uh-oh.
I have not read that book since college.
Oh, it is a slim volume.
It is not hard to read. I remember.
Oh yeah.
I am considering, there are a few books that I am considering reading for the purposes of this podcast. That is one of them. Another one that I'm considering rereading when we get to it here in like 2.5 years, The Magnificent Ambersons by Booth Tarkington, which I did read for two reasons. I read it, one, because Booth Tarkington, like me, is a native of Indianapolis, Indiana, and two, because Orson Welles made a movie out of it. That's
well, there you go.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? And the second was the second motive. First, keep Orson occupied. Second, find a use for the Todd Press, which was a printing press at Todd, the Todd School for Boys, that had like unused since Hill's like basketball primer that we talked about like 4 episodes ago. Like he wrote a book about basketball, if you recall.
No,
and,
I do recall the two things that press was used for: basketball and Shakespeare.
Right. The literally the whole of human interest right there.
I am going to type. Hang on. There's something there. Basketball, Shakespeare. Has somebody done? Ooh. 400 years later, Shakespeare's voice still echoes in sports. This is AP News article from 2016. Oh, nope. I'm getting AI images of William Shakespeare.
Fuck that.
Holding a basketball. That sucks. The internet has become hell. Closing that window.
Speaking of which, remind me to cover the Orson news at the end of this episode.
Oh God. Okay. Good.
I sent you this, and I said we're going to cover this next episode, and
no, you're right.
Like 4 weeks ago, and we haven't covered it yet. So.
Yep.
So we're going to do it. It's going to happen.
So for Welles, this project promised the possibility for fame and fortune, parenthetical, or at the very least, an end to his dependency on Bernstein, and an opportunity to leave the demands of home.
Which is something he kind of always, like, Chicago was always a little too small for Orson. He kind of always wanted to get out of there. So that makes a lot of sense.
I've been to Chicago precisely once, and it seemed very big to me, mostly because it's not one of my cities.
Sure.
So yeah,
I mean, come back. I will show you a good time.
I understand.
I want to take you out for the full Chicago dining experience. I want to take you to get an Italian beef. I want to take you to get a Chicago hot dog, and I want to take you to get 2 Chicago pizzas, a deep dish, and a tavern style.
We will be enacting the Wells University student exchange program at a certain point.
100%.
We will get to that most certainly. But I love that. It's like, how will I seek my fame and fortune? I'll adapt Shakespeare. Yeah, okay. All right.
Yes.
I mean, it worked for 10 Things I Hate About You. So there you go. Hill got the Sisyphusian ball rolling for Orson once again, writing a blanket introduction for the proposed primer entitled Everybody's Shakespeare and editing the Bard's text, while Orson would supply sketches detailing costumes, makeup, and the stagecraft suggestions.
Which brings us to... Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
Nope. Please, I had nothing. Continue.
Which brings us to March 1933. So in the spirit of wanting to get away from it all, Wells packs up his copy of the complete works of Shakespeare, his pen, his paper, his ink, and, quote, a trunk full of Elizabethan dramas, and sets sail on the USS Exermont for Morocco. The solitude and isolation, specifically from his good friend and mentor Hill, who had been up to this point his perennial cheerleader, seemed to spark Orson's self-doubt. He writes to Hill that working on his first volume, the portion on Julius Caesar, which will be the third portion that we cover today, the play he staged at Todd made him feel, quote, much nearer to Caesar than ever I dreamed I could, just near enough to know how far I am. And Skipper, I have always known Caesar pretty well, and others, like Hamlet even, are terribly foreign. What do I know about Hamlet? What do I know about Shakespeare? I feel an awful bluff. I cannot hear you all of a sudden.
That's because I was chugging water and didn't want to record all of the swallowing noises.
See, yeah. I just let those fly. Those fly.
Good. All right. I apologize, Tucker. Good.
You might want to timestamp that in case he does want to cut it out.
Yep.
I'd say a minute 36.
54. Sorry, Tucker. Anyway, I had a funny joke, and I lost the funny joke. Oh, I was talking about how, even Orson Welles at 17 years old felt imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So even Orson Welles felt imposter syndrome, kids, at the age of 17, and then never again. Never again.
I mean, to paraphrase something that he said quite often, like, I was told I was a genius so often that it wasn't until so late in life that I realized that maybe I wasn't. Like, his entire life he was told he was brilliant. And, like, he gets to be, like, he gets to middle age and then realizes, wait, what if I'm not? Like, talk about a fucking identity crisis. Holy shit.
Oh, man. Yeah. He can't just point back at his own history of bullshit and be like, wait a minute. Boy, Orson.
In a later letter to Hill, he also laments, the mere presence of Shakespeare's script worries me. What right have I? What a nerve I have. Like, just again, the imposter syndrome just thick at this point. Like, and again, it honestly, to some degree, it's kind of the same thing that we're experiencing doing this project. Like, who the fuck are we to talk about Orson Welles? Like, one of the greatest, like,
right?
Just one of the all-time great, like, filmmakers, raconteurs, like, theatrical presences. Like, this guy is such a constant through the better part of the 20th century. And, like, what the fuck right do we have? You and I. There are so many other people maybe far better qualified to do this, and yet we're the ones who are actually doing it. For good or ill, for better or worse, we're the ones setting out to do it. So there you go.
For better and definitely for worse. What nerve I have.
What nerve I have.
Well, Orson, if you just lived another 30 odd years, you would have seen Romeo and Juliet and been like, you know what? I'm doing pretty okay for myself.
Right.
Yeah. Man, even if he only lived like another like 12 years, he would have seen Romeo plus Juliet and been like, oh, what if they were all just kind of actively eye fucking each other? Okay.
I mean,
Right.
to be clear, and we'll talk a little bit more about Romeo and Juliet in the lead up to next episode.
Oh boy,
when we like in the like background for next episode,
right.
like Romeo is a fuck boy. Like Romeo, Romeo is absolutely. My partner and I were actually having this conversation earlier today. That the Romeo is a fuckboy conversation, which is a fertile ground. Let's be clear. Fertile ground for conversation.
Christ alive.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we will get into it. Most certainly. But like, that's kind of the thing that I love about Shakespeare in general. It's like endlessly adaptable. So like, yeah, dude, do what you fucking want with it. He is dead for 400 years. You're free to go.
It's all in the public domain. Do the fuck whatever you want. Like it's like there's a great comic book called Killing Shakespeare, which is about like a bunch of Shakespeare's characters all teaming up to murder the author. It's literally a comic book about the death of the author.
That
like,
fucking owns.
Isn't that amazing? That's so fucking cool. Despite the fact that they all occur, like all those plays occur within different time frames and in different parts of the world, who the fuck cares? Like, just put them all together. Why not? They're all in the public domain. So you got like Falstaff and Romeo and Othello and teaming up against like Richard III and Lady Macbeth. Like, fucking A. Why the fuck not? I'm sure Shylock is there being all, like anti-Semitic.
There's a plot of just real quick side tangent. So
no, do it.
They a couple of months ago they released a teaser trailer for the new Predator movie, Predator Bad.
Yes.
And I had several angry rants about how I just wanted just put the Predator in a goddamned land where he can fight like a goddamn samurai. Unbeknownst to me, I was getting that as an animated movie, which I still have not yet seen, Killer of Killers.
Oh. How have I seen the new Predator movie and you have not?
I want to watch it with Bex, and I finally got Bex to watch Prey a week or two back because we're doing movies based on works of literature. So I managed to sneak in Predator and Prey as, oh no, this is the most dangerous game. Just like, but like, that's a
pretty sneaky, sis.
That's a theme that's going to come back a little later in this episode. But I was watching the original trailer, teaser trailer for it, and I'm like, this is just bullshit. I don't want to know things about the Predator's home world. I don't want to know what the Predator is scared of. Give me fucking Predator fights a samurai. Give me the Predator in the Civil War. I don't give a shit. And then the new trailer comes out, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They're incorporating lore from the Alien franchise?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. Dakota Fanning is playing a legless robot who is like buddy cop comedying with him across a desolate landscape.
100%.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a power loader. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And Bex was present for it. You'll have to ask them. But they watched me in real time over the course of 5 to 10 minutes after watching this trailer work my way through the 5 stages of grief.
That sounds amazing.
Like, wait a minute. Hang on. Wait, it's a buddy comedy? It's a road picture? What the fuck? Wait, hang on. It's just, we've embraced Saturday morning cartoon. Oh my God. And then at the end, I'm just like, you know what? If they just want to put a bunch of action figures in a shoebox and then shake the shoebox, I'm all for that. That is a movie I can get behind.
Hope, I'm going to right now publicly on our other podcast called Dibs, when High on Cartoons gets to Predator Killer of Killers, it's going to be me.
Oh, shit. We're talking about bringing it back. We
Good. I can't fucking wait. I need to hear DuckTakes season 3.
It's going to be a good time.
Now, my real question, and this is something you can neglect to answer until we're off mic. Do you have plans for post DuckTakes?
We have been chatting it over extensively, and yeah, Well, I mean, if you listen to our final, most recent episode about the Legend of Korra, you knew that my original plan was to do the Legend of Korra. But unbeknownst to me, the actress who plays Korra in the Legend of Korra has a podcast about Avatar, and now they're starting to cover Korra. And I'm like, I'm not
don't
going
want to compete with that.
I'm not going to compete against Korra in a show about Korra, especially now that all of the new information about the new series is spooling up. It's like, I'm not going to. No, can't do it.
Fair.
Can't do it. Too big of a fish for us. So let's stick to Orson Welles.
I was going to say, this has got to be our most tangential episode yet up to this point.
This is going to be rough.
While traveling from Tangier to Spain, which there's not a lot of writing that Orson does to his guardians. Like, most of what we know about Orson's travels is from letters that he wrote to Hill and Bernstein, and he did practically no writing in Tangier. In Spain, though, he did finish the section on Julius Caesar. Wells began to consider Merchant of Venice, which he would call, quote, one of the most imperishable collections of poetic writing ever produced. God, he said, I hate going it up, which I probably mistyped something there because I was making these notes on my phone, and my autocorrect fucks me at every turn. So there we are.
Fascinated by what that actually meant.
And me, but you know what? I have annotations. Give me a second.
You do. Yo 245 and 247. That's Young Orson, I believe.
Yes, by Patrick McGilligan.
Thanks, Patrick.
Gooing it up. Which makes less sense, quite frankly. He says...
that's a 1934 slang, sure.
I mean, besides being a rip-snorting romance, moving and hair-tingling from the first entrance to the last exunt, The Merchant of Venice is one of the most imperishable collections of poetic writing ever produced. God, I hate gooing it up. Maybe like embellishing it, he said with a shrug.
Yeah. He probably had to do some hack and slash. Shopping and screwing.
He was very highly critical of the write-up he did of Merchant of Venice, except for his illustrations. He did like his illustrations for that, saying, quote, the drawings are going to be hot.
My Merchant of Venice doodle is going to set the world on fire. Hell yeah. Oh, jeez.
Said Orson as he touched his Merchant of Venice illustration.
Wells would depart Spain in June 33, and by the time he arrived in Chicago, he had completed his draft in the third play in Everybody's Shakespeare, Twelfth Night.
Not the first through the 11th nights. No.
No.
Only the 12th.
On the 12th night of Shakespeare, my true love gave to me gender confusion.
It's amazing that two of the three plays included in this volume both involve cross-dressing.
I mean, considering what's okay, that was the squeakiest goddamn cork ever.
Am I pouring my third glass of whiskey for this recording?
God damn.
Maybe.
God damn. Grip it and rip it, my friend.
Is that better?
This is why everybody tunes in.
Good God. I don't know why. I mean, no one listens to us. That's kind of the point. I was about to say, I don't know why anyone does. Here's the secret. No one does.
This will pay off in 5 years. It'll be fine.
One hopes.
The long con. Yeah. Summer 33. After some loose podcast self-depreciation, back in Chicago by mid-June, Wells frustrated himself, slaving over, quote, thousands of detailed sketches per hill, many of which ended up crumpled up on the floor as Orson's perfectionism won out more than more.
Hill did, however, manage to save, quote, over 1,200, which he included in the margins of the text. Which, again, if you follow the link from our previous episode to the text that we were able to find of Everybody Shakespeare, the illustrations actually really are quite something.
Mhm.
I'm they're not like gonna win like major artistic awards or whatever, but they are very evocative and really do help sell the various costumes, staging, sets, etc. for makeup, even in many cases of what these plays could and should potentially be.
It's the man's dedication to stagecraft and his imagination just are on full display. It's kind of incredible.
Right.
I'm pretty sure this next sentence was intentional. But after much ado, the first volume of Everybody's Shakespeare would finally see print over Todd's winter break, making them just able to claim a 1934 publication date.
100% intentional. I almost
Wow.
included in parentheses about not quite nothing, but I decided against it at the last minute. He's got jokes. He's got jokes.
Literary jokes.
While the book was well received in Chicago and available in many of the best bookstores in town, Wells was dismayed that it did not appear when he went to New York. Not a lot of bookstores carried it. It was, I should also mention something I did not include in the notes. It was also available by mail order, so people could write in and request a copy of the book and order it by mail. Similar to what we now would call, let me just check my notes here, Amazon.com.
A company that's never done anything wrong.
Thank you, Griffin Newman, for that joke.
All hail.
All hail. Literally, the reason we got into podcasting is Blank Check with Griffin and David. And legitimately,
which we have called out like
we are
every
friends.
other episode. Yeah, which we have called out every other episode. It's really just the Wells U is really just like the Stephen and Hope bonding power hour. With
it really this is our Blank Check. The difference between this show and Blank Check is no one listens to the show.
And sometimes they bounce, baby. While he intention had been to publish. Oh
God. The intention. Sorry, did I mention, Hope, that I type all these notes on my phone? And so
as it ran out, man, you can't do this to me.
Sorry. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry.
While the intention had been to publish all of Shakespeare's plays in the same format, it never came to be. In late 1939, Everybody's Shakespeare was republished as the Mercury Shakespeare, culminating in Wells signing over all rights to Hill as a gesture of gratitude and a way up to pay off some debt to his old friend and mentor.
Which, let's be honest, is going to become something of a theme on this podcast. Wells racking up debt.
Whoops.
Frank Brady from Citizen in his biography of Wells, Citizen Wells. I didn't mention my sources for this episode at the beginning of the episode. Are Young Orson by Patrick McGilligan, Orson Welles Volume 1, The Road to Xanadu by Simon Callow, and Citizen Wells by Frank Brady are my sources for this one. Frank Brady mentions that Orson also provided, quote, bold sketches, which he described as precise and professional, but with a spontaneous, relaxed look that made them especially attractive, for a volume of Macbeth of Everybody's Shakespeare. But I have not, up to this point, been able to find any evidence of that ever having been published. Brady is someone who actually met with and spoke with Hill. He actually saw the direct footage of Twelfth Night. So like there's a lot there that he was able to experience that Hill probably showed him that was not actually published. So my guess was Macbeth probably would have been a part of the next volume of Everybody's Shakespeare, but ultimately that never happened. Probably because Wells went to New York and found success in the theater.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Right. The authorship of the introductory pages seems somewhat in dispute. I know Brady attributes just the introduction and the Shakespeare biography, the quarto folio description, and the play introductions to Hill. Whereas one of the other biographers, and I didn't go back to fact check myself, so I literally have in brackets, insert correct biographer here. Oops. Attributes the Shakespeare biography, or at least the joke regarding the number at the beginning, which is, to my mind, very funny, to Wells. And again, I was not able to find the attribution, so I have in brackets, insert attribution here. Clearly, I did great on this episode.
Man, this is an all-timer for us. Good Christ.
Good God. If we ever survive past this episode, it'll be a fucking miracle.
We can do it. Push. The only way out is through, man.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, what other choice do we have at this point?
Yeah.
We're an hour fucking in and we're almost done with the introduction. So yeah.
We dedicate ourselves to discussing the entire creative works of Orson Welles. We don't even get to Citizen Kane. Like, come on, man. You
know what?
The best is yet to come, man.
And in fair, we might get to Citizen Kane sometime next year. We might get to Citizen Kane next year.
Might, and then it's all downhill from there.
False. Girl, fucking false. We've got some great shit to discuss.
I kind of mean for Orson, it's all downhill from there, but...
Yeah. Okay, point taken. Point taken. I retract my statement. Point taken.
It's all fucking goddamned unlimited budgets, and here's some footage from King Kong, and no studio notes, and you can put the camera wherever you want, and we're gonna paint Charlton Heston brown.
But it'll be in black and white, so no one will be able to tell. The section. Please. Hope.
Do it in tandem. The section on the Baconians, at least, was written by Hill, as evidenced by an included anecdote about his undergrad studies at U of I,
which is to say, University of Illinois.
There you go. Fair enough. I'm so glad I chose that sentence to read. Orson never attended college, so he didn't have any anecdotes about college.
Based on what I presume, between writing this section and reading through the first chunk of, say, the first 20 to 30 pages of Everybody Shakespeare, my presumption is that Hill wrote everything up to the portion on staging, which was written directly by Orson. That one is specifically credited to Orson. My guess is that Hill writes everything else. That is conjecture on my part. One has no way to tell for sure. But yeah, that is my guess. So Hope, let's move into, after an hour of just us shooting the shit, let's talk about our personal histories with Shakespeare. What is your first experience with Shakespeare? What is your general attitude and feeling toward the work of William Shakespeare? I think we'll talk about our individual histories with the specific plays as we get to those later on, which, again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on some of this stuff, but particularly because we're going to cover at least one of these in greater detail in a few weeks. Yeah. And by a few weeks, I mean sometime next year. But Hope, what is your general feeling, history with the work of William Shakespeare?
I mean, I've got nothing against the man, obviously.
What a way to start. What an auspicious beginning, Hope.
It's such a weird thing because, I was a victim of the American public school system. So my first true introduction to Shakespeare, outside of references where dudes are holding skulls in movies and shit like that, or are
funny, a lot of Bugs Bunny holding a skull,
or Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Last Action Hero.
Yes. Hey, Claudius, big mistake. Outside of that, my first true introduction to Shakespeare was probably in 9th grade English, when we had to read Romeo and Juliet as a class. And I'm just going to say this now. I fucking hate reading Shakespeare. It's a fucking play. It's not made to be read. It's made to be
Right.
performed. And that's kind of what Orson's going for in these things, trying to make them more accessible so you can visualize the stagecraft a lot better than just reading a rote script with bare bones stage directions and shit like
And
that.
it legitimately helps. Like when read in that regard, it really helps.
It truly does. I've seen a number of like filmed adaptations and stuff like that. A long ass time ago, I saw the Catherine Tate, David Tennant production of Much Ado About Nothing, and it was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And more recently, anyway, if you I would just talk about Bex for a quick second. Bex loves Shakespeare. I tried to get them fruitlessly onto this episode.
I encouraged you to try to get them on this episode. I feel like they could have contributed quite a bit to this discussion.
If we can get them on for a very specific thing where we can sit down and watch, I've gotten them to agree to be on the Chimes at Midnight episode at the very least.
I was going to say that's at least 10 years down the road.
Yeah, exactly. But like the day after we got married, I kind of absentmindedly threw on Romeo plus Juliet, and
Baz Luhrmann's Romeo plus Juliet.
And while sitting next to me, Bex just recited the sonnet of Romeo seeing Juliet for the first time, and I'm like, oh my God, this is unintentionally the most romantic thing I've ever experienced. They
know the way to a girl's heart. What can they say?
Wowzers, do they? It fucking rules.
Good for them. Legitimately good for them. And honestly, Hope, if I may say, good for you.
Oh, please. I am aware how good for me it is. It is great. But in the past couple of weeks, we've actually dedicated ourselves to watching specifically a bunch of action movies that Bex has never seen, and a bunch of teen comedies based on classic literature that I've never seen, such as 10 Things I Hate About You, which was famously
based on
Taming of the Shrew.
Correct.
A few weeks ago, we watched The Duff, which I believe was based on Pygmalion.
Okay.
Mae Whitman is a goddamned delight in that movie.
I love her. Holy shit, she's the best.
Any day of the goddamned week.
Mae Whitman, come on the podcast, please and thank you.
Yeah, by all means. But pertinent to this podcast, we watched Amanda Bynes' 2006 American romantic comedy teen sports film. That's too many words.
Wikipedia. Too many superlatives. Good God.
Called She's the Man, which was adapted from 12th Night, which I gotta say, it's pretty fucking trans. It's pretty fucking trans.
12th Night is pretty fucking trans. Let's be really clear about it.
So now, to that point, before we get any farther into it, and if you want to interrupt me to talk about your connection to Shakespeare, I tried to do more homework for this podcast. I tried, Stephen. I want you to know, I tried. I knew in the back of my head, just through pop cultural osmosis, because I'm a lesbian on the internet, that a while back in 2009, Shakespeare in the Park did a production of 12th Night starring Anne Hathaway. I've seen photos. I've heard about it. Apparently, it was amazing. We go to look for it. Hey, let's watch that on streaming tonight. Great. What service is it on? I don't know. Let's look it up. Google r/lost media. Oh no. 3 years ago by Garrow Rhodes.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Fully Lost, the 12th Night recording, 2009.
No.
One of the most popular poses that artists reference, usually for thruples and love triangles, super dramatic, comes from the 2009 Shakespeare in the Park production of 12th Night, starring Anne Hathaway, Raul Esparza, and Audra McDonald at the Delacorte Theater.
I fucking love all three of those people.
I know,
good God.
Dog.
And
look up that photo.
Here's the thing.
The hottest fucking photos of all time.
I believe. Here's the thing. My friend and my very good friend, I was in his fucking wedding. My good friend Matt
right,
and his wife Amanda saw that production when they were living in New York in 2009. They got a picture of themselves with Anne Hathaway, and they did not give her my phone number, and I am still a little salty about it.
Man.
I was like, why didn't you guys give her my phone number? Like, fuck. Yeah, the things I would have done to and for you to have had Anne Hathaway be given my phone number cannot be in word or deed enumerated.
Oh my God, I am looking at Anne Hathaway in that outfit with that haircut, and it's just like...
And we're back. Some technical difficulties there, but
Technical difficulties.
So Hope, you were talking about the lost media that is the Anne Hathaway, Raul Esparza, Audra McDonald, Shakespeare in the Park production of Twelfth Night.
We tried to do homework and watch that adaptation of Twelfth Night. Didn't happen because it doesn't exist. But we did watch Amanda Bynes in She's the Man, which also stars fucking Channing Tatum, which caught me off guard. Yeah, he's shirtless for like half of it. And they're all playing soccer.
Fun.
They're all playing soccer, and it's great. And David Cross shows up. It's hysterical.
Love that guy.
Yeah. Pretty solid movie. Good shit. Real trans. Incredibly trans. Probably says something about me that as a lesbian, I am way more into Amanda Bynes when she is boy moding than when she is just regular Amanda Bynes. So
interesting. See, I go the other way with that. That's fantastic. That's fascinating.
Butches, man, butches. I don't know what to tell you.
You do love them butches. What can I say?
I do. It's good. Please, again, see Anne Hathaway in that haircut, in that outfit. But we should probably talk about your history with Shakespeare.
Yeah, I like you. My first real engagement with Shakespeare was in 9th grade English class, where I read Romeo and Juliet.
There you go.
I went to a private Christian high school in Indianapolis, Indiana, which despite many things was actually a college prep school. So I read across 4 years of the look of consternation on your face is understandable. But I will tell you, a big part of the reason why I am the way I am is because that school actually taught me what critical thought was and how to do it. Which is something for a Christian school, legitimately.
Yeah.
To the extent that when I was teaching in a Christian school, in multiple Christian schools, I felt like the second most important thing that I could do was teach the kids how to think critically about the thing they were reading, which is to say the Bible. So like I get your confusion and I get your that look on your face, but by the same token, like I owe a lot to that school. I really do.
Fair.
I would not be, for better or worse, I would not be who I am without that school.
Well, then we certainly can't knock it.
But I read across 4 years of high school 4 Shakespeare plays. My freshman year, I read Romeo and Juliet. My sophomore year, I read Julius Caesar. Nothing my junior year, because junior year is dedicated to American literature. And Shakespeare, check my notes here, was born in England. And so my senior year, we read 2 Shakespeare plays. We read Hamlet, and we read Taming of the Shrew.
Oh, interesting.
So that was the Shakespeare that I read in high school. I still have portions of the Friends, Romans, Countrymen speech dedicated to memory, and I still have portions of the To Be or Not to Be speech dedicated to memory, because every year that I was in high school, my English class made me memorize one big chunk of something. And my sophomore year, it was Friends, Romans, Countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The good that men do lived after them. The good is often tarred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. That is all I remember of that speech, but I did have at one point in my life the whole damn thing memorized. To be or not to be, that is the question. 'Tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Or, I legitimately just forgot it in the moment.
Well, I can't help you
What a
out. because
horrible
the
time to admit that I'm an actor.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. Well, now's a good time for me to jump in. Now's my moment to shine. You need a rabble-rousing speech. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world, and you'll be
I
launching
know
the greatest aerial
exactly
assault in the
what
history
you
of
were doing.
mankind.
How did I know that was exactly what the fuck you were getting ready to tee up?
Hang on, let me get my megaphone up. All right.
Oh my God, she has a fucking megaphone within
a megaphone.
arm's reach.
Of course I have a megaphone.
Like she needs help being louder, friend.
I go to a lot of protests.
Touche.
It's got Bluetooth connectivity.
There you go.
Yeah. You know, Fortunate Son on a loop. It's
You know,
great.
for kids.
Yeah, for kids. Alice's Restaurant. So interesting. I like how we had the same kind of experience between our English lit was ninth and senior years, ninth grade and senior years.
To be fair, I did also have some
lit.
my sophomore year as well.
Okay, that's fair.
Because we were studying world lit, and so when we were covering the Roman Empire, we did Julius Caesar.
That's fair. That's fair. I just remember hating American lit in 11th grade. So it was all depressed teenagers. It was very sad.
I have also hope. I should mention, I would be loath if I did not mention at this point in the podcast that I have actually performed Shakespeare.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Again, as previously mentioned, I am an actor. I will discuss that more a little bit at the end of the podcast. But when I was in my early 20s, I performed in A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Oberon, King of the Fairies.
Okay.
I might be convinced to post a couple pictures of me in my full makeup and costume to the social medias when this episode drops. It is legitimate. So the makeup, the director and the makeup and costumer were a couple. And the makeup costume guy had been a former drag queen in a previous part of his life. And so the makeup design he did on me, my face was completely done in like sparkly gold. I was bald at the time, so I had a skull cap of like horns atop my head, and then a like gold leaf crown around that. I had like they sprayed like gold glitter in my beard. I had like black like lines across my cheeks to like accentuate my cheekbones, and then my eyebrows were completely done in gold leaf. Like I had to show up like an hour before call for everybody else.
Whoa, man!
To get my makeup done. I will text you. Dude. I will text you a picture of this makeup later. I will post it to the social media when this episode drops.
Please.
It was. It is the most intense makeup, and then the shirt that I wore was legitimately like a fucking Liza Minnelli blouse. It was pure. It was just sequins. Like it was sequins with like something very thin holding it all together. And
that's incredible.
Yeah. And then I had like gold stretch pants, like sparkly gold stretch pants. And then I had a giant cape that I wore over that. And then under the cape, and they were only visible in one scene of the whole fucking play, I had these tiny little wings. These itty bitty, because all the fairies had wings, and mine were the smallest wings they could possibly find, because I played Oberon as the villain of the piece. Because in my thinking, he's the guy, he's manipulating everything behind the scenes.
Of course.
And he gets away with it. He gets what he wants at the end. He's the villain who wins in the end. And I don't know that the director initially agreed with my take on the character, but as I performed the character, they got into it more. And so he was the villain. But the idea is that all of this was because he had very tiny wings. He was compensating for his very tiny wings, was I think the joke that they were going for.
That's fucking incredible. Which
was amazing. I have no pictures of me with the wings, but I do have pictures of me in the costume. And so I will, and the makeup, and I will post those to the Wells UPod Blue Sky accounts, because that's the one place we fucking post. What do you fucking want from me? I hate all other forms of social media.
I hear ya.
So that was the first Shakespeare play I did. And then I did something called No Rehearsal Shakespeare, where literally they would give you a scroll and it would just have your lines on it. And the only thing other than your lines was like the last part of the line ahead of yours.
Okay.
So like you would hear your cue and then you would just start reading basically off your scroll. And you didn't know who anyone else was until like you said the character name and they would step forward. Like, and it was ridiculously fun. I did Much Ado About Nothing in that style.
Okay.
In a park in Carmel, Indiana, which is a northern suburb of Indianapolis. And I was both Benedict, who is the fucking male lead of that play, and then I was also Dogberry, who is the comedic relief of that play. And Dogberry was the role I wanted.
Okay.
Like, I went out for Dogberry, and they're like, would you do Benedict too? And I'm like, can I do Dogberry also? And they're like, yes. And I was like, yes. I will do Benedict and Dog, because the two characters share no scenes together. And do I own the Joss Whedon production of Much Ado About Nothing? Yes, I do. Do I own it and keep it solely because Nathan Fillion's Dogberry is fucking genius?
Oh my god.
Yes, I do. Nathan Fillion's Dogberry is amazing. But yeah, I did Benedict and Dogberry, and then within the past, I would say 10 years, I did a production of Henry IV, the same company I did Midsummer. And I was Falstaff, which is that was a bucket list role I got to check off. So me in my late 30s got to play Falstaff, a character in his 70s. And did I have a fucking great time? Yes. Did I feel like I did it justice? Absolutely not. Would I do it again if given half the chance? Absolutely. One of the best characters I've ever played. Falstaff is, to my thinking, the greatest of all Shakespearean characters.
Fuck yeah. All right.
And the character we will discuss much later in this podcast.
Oh, I'm fucking amped for it.
I'm so
fucking amped for it.
So you've never seen Chimes at Midnight, have you?
I have had my physical fucking goddamn Criterion copy for 2 years. Been just sitting on it, waiting.
Oh my god,
waiting.
The Immortal Story.
Okay.
That's what The Immortal Story is for me. It's one of those that I own on Criterion, have for years, never watched it.
Good.
Waiting for the right opportunity. It's going to be this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been saying it's something deeply psychological about me, where it's just like I need an excuse to talk to somebody about a thing. Better make a podcast about it.
To be honest, Hope, I could not be gladder that you did, because honestly, I think I feel like I've just been waiting my whole life for someone to say, "Hey, let's just record the two of us talking about Orson Welles for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, a million years." And I literally, as soon as you texted that to me, I believe my response was all caps, hell fucking yes. Because legitimately, I had been waiting all my life for someone to ask me that question or to tell me that thing. And as luck would have it, or in your case, maybe unluck would have it, you're the one that did it.
Yep. Go me. It's all my fault.
And you know what? I cannot be happier. I'm so happy. I love this podcast. I love this.
I'm glad we're here. I'm
love
glad
that
we're here,
doing
man.
this together. Legitimately, same. Absolutely same. So that's kind of my Shakespeare history. Kind of the Shakespeare that I've engaged with. There's a lot of Shakespeare I've not engaged with. In preparation for this episode, I did engage with a production or a film of each of these plays. And for two of them, it was the first time I'd ever seen them. So,
okay.
Yeah. I'm going to skip a lot of the kind of introductory stuff. Legitimately, though, I would recommend reading, and we've got it. I'll put it in the show notes for this episode. It was in the show notes for last episode as your homework. Would highly recommend reading the supplementary materials for this, because it is, I would argue, endlessly fascinating to kind of get the background of Shakespeare as it existed in 1934. I do, however, want to get into the plays themselves, and we've been doing this for, at this point, over an hour. So we might as well jump into the actual plays themselves.
Might as well.
3 plays are covered in the Mercury. The Mercury Shakespeare is the edition we have. I will say, and this is something we did not mention earlier, the Mercury Shakespeare came with a series of phonograph records that included recordings of the Mercury Shakespeare Company performing these plays. Specifically, the edits of them made by Wells and Hill for this volume. So that people could literally listen to the performances of the plays as they were reading them. This was not meant, at least the Mercury Shakespeare, was not meant to be simply a text to be read and studied, but rather something to be engaged with actively.
Amazing.
Which I love, because again, Shakespeare lacks a lot of its power when it's read, as you mentioned. Yeah. It needs to be performed. You need to see it. It's a vibrant, living thing, like a play. You can read a play, and it's only going to do one thing for you, but to see the way the director and the actors interpret the thing is essential and vital to what that play is and what that play becomes.
Very much so.
And that's what the thing I love about live theater. It's why I continue to do live theater. No 2 performances or productions are ever the same. Even within a production, like no 2 shows are ever the same, because someone may botch a line, someone may need to cover for someone. Someone may, deliver an inflection slightly differently despite the weeks of rehearsal that have gone into it. Live theater is a constantly evolving and changing thing, and I think that's the magic and the power of the thing. And so Shakespeare, Wells or Hill, one of the two, perhaps Hill, comments that yes, Shakespeare borrowed all of his plots, but the originality comes not from the plots themselves, but from the language used to convey them, which I think is really, that was something that always really bothered me as a kid about Shakespeare, is that he basically stole his plots from either history or from other stories. But because again, plot is the most important part of any story, of any play, of any film. Like if I'm watching and engaging with something, I'm engaging because of the plot. But to paraphrase Solomon, there's really nothing new under the sun. There's nothing really new that we can add or convey. We're just kind of riffing on the same story tropes, the same beats, the same types of stories. And I think Shakespeare is evidence of that. His brilliance lies in not in what he's saying, but how he's saying it. And I think that's where the power of Shakespeare comes from. And he coins like so many words that we use today, like eyeball is a Shakespearean invention.
And elbow.
Yeah. There's so many things that the man created just as a weird turn of phrase within a script that have become just part of the general American lexicon of language.
It's God, I'm really glad that I hooked up with like an academic to do this podcast. Jesus fucking Christ. That Shakespeare, he done do the words done good. Yep.
And he sure talk pretty. Billy Shakes, you sure got a pretty mouth.
So in She's the Man,
hold on. Before we get to She's the Man, let's talk about The Merchant of Venice, which is the first play listed in the Mercury Shakespeare.
Hope you find a teen comedy based on that.
God.
Actually, that's worth a quick Google. Hang on.
Hope, so question for you. What is your history with the play or the script or the concept of The Merchant of Venice?
Little to none.
Okay. Have you ever seen a production of The Merchant?
I have not. I saw like 4 minutes of the Al Pacino version in college. Okay. And that was it.
Which I will say is the version I watched I legitimately rented. Went out of my way to rent the Al Pacino. I paid money to watch the Al Pacino version of The Merchant of Venice. Al Pacino playing Shylock, a Jew. Al Pacino, let me just check my notes here, an Italian.
Concerning.
Here's the thing, though. And I talked to a Jewish film critic on Disenfranchised years ago.
Okay.
And she said something I will never forget. She said, the Jews and the Italians have a long-standing tradition that we're both okay with one of us playing the other. Jews are okay to play Italians. Italians are okay to play Jews.
That's incredible.
It's just kind of this trade-off that we have.
Yeah.
And I will never forget that. It was such an incredible moment on Disenfranchised. It was the Brightburn episode. For those of you wondering. It's so fucking good. I was like, Keanu Reeves playing Ben Grimm, and she's like, no, Ben Grimm is Jewish. He needs to be played by a Jew. I'm like, fuck, you're right. No, you're right. Absolutely. And she was absolutely right to say so. But yeah, she was like, yeah, the Jews and the Italians, we just kind of have this unspoken agreement. You can play us, we can play you, and it's okay. So it's okay that Al Pacino plays Shylock, I think. That's according to that agreement as told by a Jew.
Fair enough.
Will all Jews agree? No. Does she speak for all Jews? Absolutely not. But there you have it.
Right.
Regarding the phonograph recording of The Merchant of Venice, and to my point, I have zero experience with The Merchant of Venice. I legitimately watched it for the first time this week in preparation for this podcast. The Al Pacino version that I rented over the weekend. And I will say, Pacino's fucking great in it. Pacino is fucking great in it. Also, like, great cast in that thing. Can I review the cast with you in this thing?
By all means.
It's Al Pacino as Shylock.
Okay.
It's Joseph Fiennes, not Rafe, but his baby brother Joseph is Bassanio. Lynn Collins is Portia. Jeremy Irons is Antonio.
Okay.
You've also got Charlie Cox, Daredevil himself, as Lorenzo. Chris Marshall from Love Actually as Gratiano. You've got Mackenzie Crook from The British Office as Lancelot. Gregor Fisher as Solanio. Joseph Sessions as Salario. Like, the cast on this thing is fucking stacked as hell. I love it. It's so good. 10 out of 10, no notes.
Incredible.
Love the cast. I will say the Mercury cast does include some notable names that we will refer to later, and I just kind of want to highlight them now so that you know them later. The first is the great Norman Lloyd. And I cannot say enough. The man lived until 2021. And the man got to work with just an incredible, like a murderer's row of directors. Like, he was just, he worked with Nancy Meyers, Orson Welles, like Martin Scorsese, the guy, Peter Weir. Like, the man just had an unbelievable career that lasted from the stage work he did in the 30s all the way up until his last film role was released in his last film role was Trainwreck in 2015, the Judd Apatow film with Bill Hader and Amy Schumer. Like, the man just had an unbelievable career. He's in The Holiday, directed by Nancy Meyers. He's in Dead Poet Society from Peter Weir. And we'll talk about him in a couple weeks when we get to Julius Caesar for sure. But he is a member of the Mercury Players. In this production, he plays, let me find his credit here. He plays Solanio. And that's it. I thought he had he does have a double role. He plays Solanio and Lancelot in this.
Incredible.
He's unbelievable. Love that dude so much. What a fucking performer is Norman Lloyd. Then we've got Erskine Sanford, who would perform in both a lot of Wells films, actually. Citizen Kane, Magnificent Ambersons, The Lady from Shanghai. He was also in Academy Award-winning film by William Wyler, The Best Years of Our Lives. Just an unbelievable actor. He is in this production as Old Gobbo, or Old Gobbo, perhaps. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And also the Duke. And he plays the flustered publisher in Citizen Kane, the guy who's just all blustery the whole time. So fucking good. Love Erskine Sanford. Great actor. And then another name that we need to mention is Joseph Holland, who will go on. We'll talk about him in a few weeks when we talk about and again, by a few weeks, I mean next year, when we talk about the Mercury Theater production of Caesar. He is Julius Caesar in that production.
Fuck yeah.
And what a job he does in that. And then finally, we've got William Allen, a name that you might not recognize. He is probably best known as an actor for his role in Citizen Kane, where he plays a character whose face you never see. He's the reporter. The whole fucking movie that's trying to figure out what Rosebud means.
Okay.
He also plays an uncredited role as a reporter in The Lady from Shanghai, and the role of second murderer in the Wells production of Macbeth in 1948. But then he goes on to become like an incredible Hollywood producer. Like, he produces all of the Creature from the Black Lagoon movies for Universal. The Deadly Mantis, the first like B horror movie I ever saw. The man is just like kind of a fucking producing legend. He ends up producing up through 1966, passes away in 1997, but like just an incredibly illustrious career as a writer, a producer, an actor. Like, he kind of does a little bit of it all. He has an uncredited writing role on both on Creature from the Black Lagoon, and then a story by credit for both Revenge of the Creature and The Deadly Mantis. Like, just all hail William Allen, fucking legend. Like, better known now as a producer than he is as an actor, but got his start with the Mercury Theater and Orson Welles. So just some notable names on that cast list. I was at an audition literally last night, as of the date of this recording, and I was talking to one of the other actors, and he had just played Malvolio in Twelfth Night, or a musical edition of Twelfth Night. And I asked him kind of, what other Shakespeare roles would you like to play? And he said, well, I'd love to play Shylock. And I was like, oof, you're not really going to get much of a chance to play Shylock these days. This Merchant of Venice, not really a play that would get performed a lot now, because of the abject anti-Semitism of the show. Really.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to ignore the anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
To be fair, and I'll just say this, I will say this on its face. In Shakespeare's day, anti-Semitism was relatively rampant.
Yeah, kind of like how it is now. Yeah.
Yes. I want to read what Wells writes in the introduction to Merchant about this piece.
Okay.
Personally, my guess is that Shakespeare wrote the play for just what is usually made, a story of craftiness outwitted and true love triumphant. For his own amusement, however, I imagine him inserting the many veiled sneers or at least smiles at the holier-than-thou attitude of Christianity. Certainly the hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions speech is one of the most moving pleas for racial tolerance ever written. I'm gonna put a pin in that for a second.
Okay.
It was the age of intense anti-Semitic feeling. It was an age of intense self-righteousness among the Christian nations. The American Indian, my apologies. The Native American, I will edit Wells's language there, could be tortured and enslaved with the blessing of God if he was first converted. A Christian could do no wrong to a heathen unless it was to allow him to enjoy his obvious deprivation. To the average patron of the globe, it was essentially noble for a Christian to act with diabolical cruelty to a Jew. For Antonio to spit on Shylock and spurn him too. To laugh at his losses, mock at his gains, scorn his nation, thwart his business, cool his friends, heat his enemies. Just a Boy Scout doing his good turn daily. But Shylock must be merciful. And a million high school students a year must learn this speech and recite it without laughing. If you want to press the matter, Jessica attains salvation and, of course, wings and a harp through the simple process of gilding herself with her father's ducats and jewelry and presenting the stolen goods to her Christian boyfriend. And Bassanio, the sponging wastrel and fortunate hunter, is a little less than admirable when he and his pal Graziano, exult over being the Jasons and winning the Golden Fleece. A lot to unpack there, but even by 1934 standards, can we legitimately call the "Prick us, do we not bleed," aka the "hath not a Jew hands, organs, etc." speech? Can we legitimately call that quote one of the most moving pleas for racial tolerance ever written? This is, of course, excluding the autobiography of Frederick Douglass. This is excluding the work of several abolitionists before, leading up to, and during the Civil War. And not to mention John Brown himself. It is poetically brilliant. I will not fault it that. But one of the most moving pleas for racial tolerance ever written, even by 1934 standards, I have my doubts.
Sorry, that just kind of rang a bell in my head. I'm realizing that specific speech, I want to say, was also deployed kind of perfectly in the 1942 film To Be or Not to Be, which I'm realizing I saw as a little kid and made more of an impression than I realized. But yeah, it's Jesus fucking Christ. It sucks that these themes keep coming back and keep remaining relevant.
Right. 100% agree. No, you're absolutely spot on. And again, it's the reason why something like this can't readily be performed often. There's this notion, and Wells even speaks of it, like earlier in the stage directions. Obviously, Shylock can be played in a more sympathetic manner, not, however, as completely sympathetic as some might wish, and still retain the drama of the court scene. There's this aspect that the Jewish character must still be shrewd and conniving. And Shylock is, for good or ill, and I will editorialize here and say mostly for ill, is one of Shakespeare's prominent villains. Ugh. And it sucks.
Yeah, it does. Well, coming up
because
soon,
it is so clearly covered by it is so clearly like couched in the anti-Semitism of the day.
And we're never going to deal with racism on this podcast ever again.
Nope.
Never
again.
It's not going to get more uncomfortable from here on out. Uh-oh.
At no point will the subject of this podcast appear in faces of different colors other than white. Oops. No, I did text you the other day to advise you there is a short film of Orson as Shylock performing The Merchant of Venice.
Of course, of course he did.
I am loath to share with you the makeup of what he looked like in that performance.
No.
But I guarantee to tell you it is as stereotypical as you think it is.
No.
I'm going to Google right now. I'm going to do Orson. And it should maybe come as no surprise to you whatsoever that Wells played Shylock in the production, in their recording.
Oh, no, Orson, you didn't. Orson, no.
No, he did. He really did.
Orson, click on image search. Oh, no.
Yeah, if you type in Orson Welles Shylock, you'll get a
literally what I got.
Yeah.
My internet's just being a slow asshole because I have 9 tabs open.
I will include it in the show notes.
Audacity.
Not in the show notes. I will include it in the social media post on Bluesky for this episode.
Oh, that's.
Yep.
Wow, that's
correct. A choice is what that is.
Oh, that's a whole lot of choice.
Yeah. Now the
That's
production
that's a whole many choices.
the production that
them
I
good.
watched with Al Pacino did like have like kind of an opening preamble that really kind of gave a good context for the show, which is, or for the production, which is the fact that Jews in this area were not allowed to own land. So they got their money. They were able to make a living by usury, by basically loaning money.
Right.
And so that was how they were able to provide a living for themselves. Usury at the time, and I find this insanely fascinating, was strictly forbidden by the Christian church.
Of course.
And in fact, there is legitimately scripture against the borrowing and lending of money to fellow brethren. So Christians did not participate in usury whatsoever, which is why Antonio asking Shylock for a loan is such a fucking huge deal. And why Shylock is so quick to exact revenge in this. Like, Shylock is supposed to be merciful, but Antonio doesn't need to be because he's a Christian, the prevailing kind of religious way of the day. I'm the word is escaping me, but you understand what I mean.
I get it.
Have I had a few beverages? Yes, I have. But that's kind of the prevailing, religion of the day. And so, and I found that a really interesting piece of context that really kind of helped put everything into perspective for me as I was watching this production and engaging with this piece of art that I'd never seen before.
I'm sorry, I just clicked on the link that you uploaded into the chat, and I was just treated to a full frame photo of Orson Welles, and it's just looking at me.
Yeah,
like fucking
Shylock.
Like fucking Torgo in the hands of fate. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. It really does. He really does look like Torgo. That is insane.
It's unfortunate.
I hate you for putting that connection in.
I'm so terribly sorry.
To be clear, I love you as a sister. You are one of my best friends.
I keep layering it up.
By the same token, you shared that thought with me, and I hate you so much for it.
I'm so sorry.
But in as much love as I can muster, because you know I love you. This was a tough one to engage with. Did I really enjoy the production I watched? No. My friend Matt, who I mentioned earlier in the podcast, as the guy who saw 12th Night, also saw the Al Pacino Merchant of Venice when it was performed at Shakespeare in the Park as well.
Okay. All right.
And this is kind of the film version of that, but with like a lot more names, I think, filling out kind of some of the minor roles. But yeah, it's phenomenal. But also really regrettable at the same time. Like, there's a lot to love about it, but there's a lot, mainly the anti-Semitism of the thing, that's really fucking unfortunate and hard to engage. Like, so many of Shakespeare's other plays have been modernized in so many ways, and I kept trying to think of a way to modernize The Merchant of Venice, and I don't think you can fucking do it.
I don't know enough about The Merchant of Venice to properly comment on the modernization aspect of it, but I have a quick pitch. Tron lines.
Go on.
I have nothing else besides just Tron lines. That is the beginning and end of the entire thought process.
I thought you had more to unpack there. I was
nope.
Looking forward to the
begins
rest
and ends with, what if Daft Punk was involved somehow? And that's about as far as it got.
Just do the text exactly as written within the time frame as written.
Right.
Just include a Daft Punk soundtrack. Okay,
right, exactly.
I think I see what you're getting at.
Okay, good. It's not problematic at all.
Never.
The Robots of Venice. There it is. We fixed it. All right,
There
good.
it is.
There, we solved racism forever.
Oh, God. Hope. Let's talk about
vote
maybe
for Obama a third time.
God, how fucking dare you? Oh, made her choke on her smoke.
Oh.
Let's move on to Shakespeare's most trans play of all time. Let's move on to 12th Night.
Yeah, let me reopen that tab on She's the Man.
I to be now and again, just to kind of catch, I had no connection with 12th Night before this. I knew the premise more or less, but I watched the Trevor Nunn 1996 Trevor Nunn film with Imogen Stubbs and Helena Bonham Carter and Nigel Hawthorne as Malvolio. Fucking perfect.
Okay, that fucking owns.
Yeah, he's so fucking good. It's on Canopy if you have a library card and your library gives you access to Canopy. So you can watch the whole fucking film there. Every time Helena Bonham Carter looked at Nigel Hawthorne and said, "How now, Malvolio?" I fucking just fell out. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. It was fucking amazing. I love it so much. It's really a wonderful play in which a woman and her brother basically the woman has to basically pretend to be her brother because the guy who owns the island she crash lands on after a shipwreck doesn't allow women into his court. And so she meets a kindly like sailor, merchant, captain, somebody who helps her dress up like a man. And in the Trevor Nunn version, she and her brother were part of a cross-dressing act, which you see kind of playing on the ship. And like she would sing the high notes and he would sing the low notes, and they both have these veils. And then at one point they'd take off the veils and they both have mustaches, and he would peel off her mustache and reveal that she was a woman, and she'd start to peel off his mustache, and then the ship wrecked. But it reminded, like, I was thinking a lot about, because in Merchant of Venice, you also have a cross-dressing element. Like the lady who plays Portia becomes a lawyer, like pretends to be a lawyer halfway through, and her maidservant becomes like her manservant. And it reminded me of the fact that in Shakespeare's day, all the female roles were played by men.
Yeah.
Or young men, particularly. So the notion that these young men are being asked to play women, it feels like the cross-dressing element was a way for them to kind of like play a masculine type of role while still being the female character. Like
incredible.
It's kind of baked into the cake of the Shakespearean dramatic identity, which I find insanely fascinating. But now these days, when women are playing female roles in Shakespeare, it comes off as insanely trans. But then in the day, again, you've got men playing female roles. That is in and of itself pretty fucking trans too. Like at some point, like art imitates life, imitates art.
I mean, it's a turducken of gender identity. To be clear,
you can probably speak to this a lot more authoritatively than I can.
Well, I'm just pulling up because I want to get the wording exactly right, and I'm trying to pull up the words of some of the great philosophers. But yeah, truly, as I was saying, like it certainly raises a lot of interesting questions for me when I find myself more attracted to Amanda Bynes in a very short butch wig than I do as just regular Amanda Bynes.
Right.
That's my own thing going on. But yeah, considering all of these roles were originally played by men pretending to be women, pretending to be men, I think turducken becomes the right word in complete honesty.
I feel like you're really onto something with that phrasing. For sure.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the word is turducken, but there it is.
Or it's like it's an Ouroboros kind of, like a snake eating its own tail kind of thing.
Ouroboros is very, very good. If my god damned internet will fucking load, you absolute asswagon. No, god damn it. Stephen vamped for 20 seconds as I Google something on my phone.
No, the gender identity aspect of a
promise this joke is going to be worth it. God damn it.
100% it will be. this feels like Shakespeare's the closest Shakespeare gets to transness, and again, I feel like it's because of the trope, as evidenced by the play Shakespeare in Love, of women playing or of men playing women, and so you get kind of there's this transness kind of built into theater, Elizabethan theater of the day. And then as women start to play women's roles, that becomes lessened until you get to the production of Julius Caesar that I watched, which was a production of it. It was the first part of a trilogy of all women Shakespeare productions. So every fucking character is played by a woman. But we'll get to that here momentarily.
I'm really excited to hear about that.
Of the 3 adaptations of Shakespeare plays that I watched for this episode, that was the best one by a
You're going to have to send me that link. Yeah, that sounds incredible.
100%.
But the words of the philosophers, as I was trying to pull up earlier, girls will be boys and boys will be girls. It's a mixed up, muddled up, shook up world, except for Lola.
Except for Lola.
That is, of course, the Kinks and their song
Lola. What a
Uh,
great song, too. Like introducing us to the notion of transness in the 80s when people just weren't fucking ready for it. God,
you know what
bless
really
you,
sucks
Kinks.
is I kind of like hid behind Yoda for most of my life. And it was only after my egg cracked that I became obsessed with the original fucking song.
Whereas I liked the original song long before I knew Yoda was a thing.
Oh no, I hit Yoda at an extremely early age. Yeah.
And see, and again, as someone who came to Weird Al late and kind of had to kind of search my way through his back catalog, and again, I will absolutely credit my taste in music, such as it is, to Kazaa. In my early years of college, like I downloaded so much music illegally. I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations is run out on that.
Don't download this song.
Speaking of Weird Al,
sorry.
But I listened to Lola by the Kinks back then, and between that and the comedian Susie Eddie Izzard, that was kind of my first exposure to transness.
Oh, of course,
as a sheltered young teen. And I like Susie Izzard to this day is one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I fucking love that woman.
Correct.
She is so good.
Amazing.
And then, but yeah, Lola is just one of those all-time great songs where you're like, at the end of the day, does it matter that Lola is trans? No, because the author of the song fucking loves her. Yeah. And that's the thing that matters. Like, that's the important part. And, you know, there's this moment in the Trevor Nunn production of Twelfth Night where Ben Kingsley's character, Feste, is singing a song. And the two of them start to, like, Orsino and Viola, who is in her masculine identity, like, come this close to sharing a kiss. And it's one of those things like, does this man think he is gay because he is attracted to another man? Which, again, I feel like was in some ways relatively common. I feel like the stigma against homosexuality it's kind of always existed, but in a lot of cultures and in a lot of ways it was mostly ignored or just kind of relegated to the side until relatively recently, where there's so much weaponized against queerness and homosexuality. And again, correct me if I'm wrong here, please.
I'm honestly the wrong person to speak on this about, because I'm not so like familiar with like the better way to word this sort of thing. But if you look at like Eurocentric culture, yes, it's mostly been like sidelined and tabooed essentially. But I mean, if you look at most other cultures, not most other cultures, but many other cultures. Like there's sculptures of trans people from the Greek and Roman times.
Right.
Gay people have always existed.
100%.
Yeah. And they didn't just suddenly appear in the 80s with Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. So like, I had to work a Dune reference in there.
I was going to say, just can't help yourself, can you?
Sorry, I felt the well running dry. it's it sucks. I mean, it's born out of misogyny. I mean, even just in talking about Shakespeare and how only men can play these roles. It's all forms of just this bullshit control. You're only allowed to love this way. You're only allowed to express yourself this way. Here's a crazy factoid. If I'm getting this completely correct, gosh, I hope I am. In Iraq, it's okay to be transgender, but you have to absolutely conform to that gender identity, and you cannot be in a homosexual relationship. Ooh. So, like, exactly, it's all just insane forms of control. So, like, yeah, if we're not careful, I will start talking about the Matrix in depth.
What, you talk about the Matrix?
Man, I haven't talked about the Matrix in depth for a little while, and Lily Wachowski just announced a new project that's featuring all trans women, and I want to fucking talk about it, but I've got to talk about William fucking Shakespeare instead, man. God damn it.
Hope it's going to be okay. You know what? If we can get through Julius Caesar, I will give you 5 minutes to talk about the Wachowskis. How's that?
God. I really don't have too much to say about it besides the fact that I'm stupidly excited for it. And people are already opening up trans hate against it. So I'm like, God damn it. You're going to make me watch Cloud Atlas and defend Cloud Atlas, aren't you? God damn it.
Hope, I will say right now, for the record, on this podcast publicly, my partner, the woman I love, who I'm dating right now.
All right, talk it up some more.
Her second favorite movie of all time
is Cloud Atlas.
Great. You know what? Cloud Atlas, as someone who's watched it at least 5 times.
Oh boy.
In the last 4 years since I've been dating my partner. Fucking great movie.
Great.
I love it.
Good.
I love I will stand on that ledge with you and defend Cloud Atlas, Hope.
Man, I just started watching Bound, and I'm excited to just plow through.
I own it on 4K.
Yep.
It's on the shelf.
Got my Criterion back there. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. It's gonna be good.
I fucking love Criterion 4Ks. Can I tell you, Hope?
Which fucking Corky. Fucking Corky does it for me. Jesus Christ. Sorry, continue, please.
Sorry.
Butches.
We both got horny on main there for a second.
God.
Can I tell you the 3 Criterion 4Ks that I bought on this last Criterion sale for this month at the Barnes & Noble sale?
I can tell you my newest 4K Steelbook collection.
I absolutely... You know what?
You go first.
I bought some Billy Wilder, Some Like It Hot, a movie I have never seen, but speaking of trans...
Fuck yeah.
One of the great all-time lines, I'm a
Nobody's
man.
Perfect.
Well, nobody's perfect. Fucking A. One of the great all-time last lines in cinema. Fucking love it.
Perfect.
I got The Wiz. Sidney Lumet's The Wiz.
Okay.
And then I got one of the greatest films of the 1970s. 1977, William Friedkin's follow-up to The Exorcist, Sorcerer. On fucking
Jesus
4K.
Christ.
Hope, have you seen Sorcerer?
I have not seen Sorcerer. I know a lot about it.
Hope.
Oh boy.
Perfect movie.
Okay. I believe you.
Fucking movie.
I believe you.
Hope. We need you to see Sorcerer so that you and I can talk about Sorcerer.
Yes, sir.
Don't call me sir. I don't think I can handle that.
Well, speaking of movies that you and I have talked about, my recent 4K Steelbook purchase, as I choke on nothing, I should take my NyQuil shortly, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got to talk about Julius Caesar, and then we'll wrap this puppy up. And to be clear, we're going to talk about Julius Caesar next year, so I'm not going to talk a lot about Julius Caesar right now.
Yeah.
Well,
I dipped my toes into Julius Caesar. But shit. No, what was I talking about? 4K Steelbook. Right. Dark Crystal.
See the episode that we recorded with Bex on Disenfranchised about the fucking Dark Crystal.
Oh, my God. You can see the strings holding the dark crystal aloft, and it is perfect. You can see every twitch of every puppet. Oh, it is perfect.
Skeksis, Hope.
Skeksis. Fuck.
God,
It's all
what a
about
great movie.
It's fucking perfect. It's
I
perfect.
did send you
another world.
I did send you the puppets that I saw at the Jim Henson exhibit in Peoria, Illinois when I went, right?
You did. Oh God.
Yeah. I think I sent you Agra.
They have a section at the Museum of Moving Image for the Dark Crystal, and I'm just itching to get there.
I need to get there with you.
Skeksis in real life.
Because the stuff that was at the Jim Henson exhibit in Peoria was stuff on loan from the Museum of the Moving Image. So I have to imagine their collection is even bigger. And I only shared with you a fraction of what I got of what I saw from the Peoria exhibit. Remind me, I will send you more if you so request it. Like, I've got fucking stuff from Sesame Street, The Muppet Show, The Muppet Movies, Labyrinth, Fraggle fucking Rock. Like,
fuck yeah.
Jim Henson's Storyteller. Like, I got shit, man.
Shit, all right.
The commercial days, like Wilkins. Fucking Wilkins and Wonkins. Like, I got shit, girl. Don't even get me started.
I'd have to pull up photos from when Bex and I went to DC and to the American History Museum for pop culture.
Legit,
awesome.
I'm kind of amazed that I managed to talk my partner into going to see a Muppets exhibit 3 hours away in Peoria, Illinois, because she is not a Muppets fan. She did not grow up with the Muppets. She has no exposure to the Muppets beyond her dating me, a lifelong Muppets person.
Here's a quick display from the Smithsonian. Got Elmo, Mr. Rogers sweater, and Howdy Doody.
Fucking Howdy Doody.
And, what's that? To get us back. Oh, hey, it's the costume of Xena, warrior princess. Whoops. But to get us back on track, if I can find it, because I know I saw it and I took a photo of it. Where the fuck is it? It's not the ruby red slippers. It's not R2D2. C-3PO. I'm not singing and vamping to cover my tracks. It's Orson Welles' typewriter. Hell yeah. They had it at the Smithsonian.
That makes me want to go to the Smithsonian, literally not to see all the other shit there, but to see Orson Welles' fucking typewriter.
Fuck yeah. Orson Welles'
I will say,
typewriter.
One notable name from the production of
and Agent Scully's FBI ID. Sorry. They also had the chunk of amber from Jurassic Park. It was a good day. It was a very good day.
Another name I want to mention who was on the Mercury recording of the 12th Night recording, he played Antonio, is George Coulouris, another member of the Mercury Theater whose name we will hear a lot. He played Mr. Thatcher in Citizen Kane. He was Mark Antony in the Mercury production of Julius Caesar. And one of those actors who would later in life go on to be in movies like Papillon, who would be in The Long Good Friday. He was in an episode of Heart to Heart, which I find very funny. But just kind of one of those like really great actors. Was again an early member of the Mercury Theater, which is fucking amazing. Like, Welles managed to find like great talent who never really butted into full-fledged talent, but would still we're still insanely talented individuals, and I find that just really amazing and really wonderful. But yeah, George Coulouris is kind of the big name. And again, you get other kind of big names introduced there. Norman Lloyd is in there as well. Like, you get a lot of the other Mercury players there also. But, you know, the addition of George Coulouris cannot be understated. Coulouris, a really great member, an important member, an essential member of the Mercury Theater, and a name that we will talk about much more in the weeks and years to come.
Many years to come.
Julius Caesar.
Something about March and Ides.
Something,
Now, I noticed-
something, March.
Hang on, is that part of the notes? Let me get that down real quick. Something Ides.
Is that going to be the name of this episode? Maybe. No, it won't be.
Good. Okay. So I was actually listening to the Mercury Theater on the air radio production of Julius Caesar.
Yes.
Before we were recording, which I know we're going to be covering properly when we cover Mercury Theater on the air in 7 years.
It'll be next year.
It'll be next year. Okay, good.
Honestly, we're going to get to the debut production of the Mercury Theater on the air before the year's end.
Which was, of course, Dracula.
No, Les Miserables.
Was it Les Mis?
It was.
Why
Les
am I thinking it
Mis.
was Dracula? Son of a bitch! Who lied
Their
to
production,
me?
Their production of Dracula may be the most faithful adaptation of the book ever conceived, but according to my notes, it was Les Miserables.
Well, son of a bitch! I was lied to by some source because, as we all know, the internet is never wrong. Look, man, I'm just excited to watch a shitload of vampire movies later. I got Bex on board with watching Twilight and fucking Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes,
Sorry.
or as I heard someone
Columbia
refer to it,
TriStar Pictures, Francis
There
Ford
it is.
Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula's.
you were the
God
one I
damn it.
heard referred to it.
That was me. That was my dumb joke. Good. Yeah.
I know you've
But,
seen Sinners. Like Sinners is a
Oh,
fucking
fuck yes.
masterpiece.
Sinners was fucking killer. Holy shit.
Maybe the greatest vampire film of the modern era, if not the greatest vampire
That
movie
was
of all
amazing.
time. I've seen it twice. I could stand to watch it 50 more times, and I guarantee you I will pull new stuff out of it all the time. Like that.
I mean,
That's why I love Citizen Kane. That's why Citizen Kane is one of my
Right.
favorite movies, if not my favorite movie of all
Right.
time.
because vampires show up halfway through Citizen Kane.
No, because every time I watch it, I'm pulling new shit out of it. I'm finding new things
okay,
to see.
okay,
And I
okay.
feel like Sinners is going to be one of those movies where every time I watch it, I'm going to find and identify a new thing that I really
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again. That's a 4K
Yes.
purchase for me, certainly.
100%. I tried to pre-order the 4K and it's already sold out.
Oh, fuck off.
I tried to get the 4K Steelbook and it's like, sorry, sold out. And I'm like, you bitches.
I pre-ordered my 4K Steelbook of Arcane Season 2, so I got that waiting for me in October.
There you go.
Yeah, so whenever this episode drops. So Julius Caesar. Guy declares himself emperor and then gets stabbed by a bunch of people. I'm sure that has no bearing on modern society. Deny, depose, defend, depose, or whatever the 3 Ds are. Get me on a watch list real fast.
Quick before
quick.
before she moves on, get her on a watch list. There's definitely something to be said for that. Like there's something about and we'll talk about this next year when we get to the Mercury on stage production of Caesar, where Wells makes the direct correlation between Julius Caesar and fascist Italy. Like he sets the entire production in fascist Italy, and it really, and we'll cover me and Orson Welles around the same time, the movie and the book potentially, right around the same time, because they're both about that. All of them are about the production of that play. But there's something really like that production really kind of shakes people up in a way that like Wells has this way when he starts to get into theater, and we'll talk about this in a few weeks when we get to Voodoo Macbeth, quote unquote,
Okay.
Voodoo Macbeth, where Wells has a way of taking these Shakespearean shows and recontextualizing them, in a way that is vibrant and new and interesting and engaging for the theater audience writ large. And it awakens something in them that they potentially hadn't considered up to that point. And I feel like Voodoo Macbeth does that in the same way that the fascist Caesar does that. That all of that is nowhere in everybody's Shakespeare. It's nowhere in the text at all. The production of Julius Caesar that I watched actually earlier today in preparation.
Oh yes, I'm excited to hear all about this.
And we I kind of mentioned this before we started recording, and I'd been texting you about it in that
the French
way that I do. It's part of Felida. I think it's Felida Jones is the name of the director. She produced a trilogy of. Yeah, Felida Lloyd produced a trilogy of all-female Shakespeare, and for a particular theater group in the UK. So all of the performers, all the actresses are UK actresses, and for the production of Julius Caesar, and I fell for this fucking hook, line, and sinker, as you well know. They are actresses playing inmates of a female correctional facility. And
interesting.
And the setup for the show, like these guards literally march them into the theater single file and then kind of dispatch them to their various points, their like various starting points. And the guards are literally standing there the whole fucking show.
Oh my God.
It's so fucking incredible. It's on Hoopla. If you have a library card and your library gives you access to Hoopla, which is a streaming app specifically for mobile devices, laptops, cell phones, tablets, etc. You can cast it to your TV though if you want to watch it on a major screen, on a bigger screen. But the actress who plays Mark Antony is her name is Jade Anuka. She's unfucking believable, but she gets up and says this stuff like, yeah, I made a mistake several years ago. I committed manslaughter. I'm in prison for X amount of years. I've really found my voice through our performance of these Shakespeare plays. I really hope you get a lot out of it. And it's fucking convincing to the point that I texted you like the production that I'm watching of Julius Caesar is apparently from some women's correctional facility. It wasn't the end of the fucking play that I realized they were actresses. The whole time I'm like, these women are amazing. And then at the end I'm like, what else? Like they're like listing credits. Like what else have these women been in? Turns out a lot of shit because they're actual actresses and I'm an idiot. Is what it boils down to.
Fucking rules.
It's so fucking good.
Good job, buddy.
It's and it is, as I mentioned as I texted you earlier, very deeply sapphic because again, it's an all-woman production.
Yeah.
So you've got women playing men, women playing women. Like one of the first fucking images of the play is Caesar coming out, and it almost makes you wonder, like, is this actually Shakespeare? Because the language is very modern initially. Right. Like Shakespeare comes out and like it's like, hey, it's my birthday. Like it's like, hey, it's a party for me. And then the actress playing Mark Antony runs up to the actress playing Caesar, and they like start kissing, and you're like, holy shit, like what is this? But then the actress playing Brutus and the actress playing Portia have like these really intimate moments together. The actress playing Caesar and the actress playing Calpurnia. Like there are these moments of like deep intimacy between these women, both as they're playing men and as they're playing men and women together. That is really, really incredible and like really rich. Like I feel like you would really this is like 100% your shit.
Oh yeah, no, this is an easy sell to Bex. Absolutely. This is going on the list.
I will, again, if you've got a library card in your library, and I can't imagine a Philly library will not have access to Hoopla.
We should. I'm sorry. Every time you say Hoopla, I just think of that fucking meme. It's like, have you seen the latest series? It's on Zippleblanc. Have you seen the newest Marvel movie? It's on Schneehagevenprakenecht. It's
Yes.
You're just saying fucking random syllables, man.
No, you're
I
not
hate
wrong.
this fucking society.
It is
God
a
damn it.
legitimate app, and it honestly, it's a great app. It using your library card, you can rent movies, books, audiobooks. It's a great app. If you have a library card and your library offers it, Hoopla. I cannot and Hoopla and Canopy. Those are the two. Canopy with a K. Those are the two apps. Get them. Love them. No ads. You can just watch the whole thing fucking straight through. It's great. I love it. It's great. Let me finish my whiskey.
You finish that whiskey, my friend.
But yeah, there's a it's a fascinating piece, Julius Caesar, because it's about autocrats in essence. Again, a thing that we have no experience with in 21st century America.
None.
In the year of our Lord 2025, autocrat? What's that?
Our condolences to Stephen Colbert.
Who can fucking God? R.I.P. to a fucking legend, Stephen Colbert.
He's not fucking dead.
Okay, fine. I mean, who knows? This episode drops in late August. Who knows what can happen between now and then?
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm also watching your video, and it's fading back and forth between color and black and white. So I'm just like, it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Like, have you wandered onto Geedy Prime, my friend? Like, what's going on?
No, I'm gauging between Orson Welles films in which he did not direct and Orson Welles films in which he did.
Okay.
That's what it is. But no, and again, of these three plays, Julius Caesar is the one I have the experience with.
Okay.
But and again, we'll talk about it next year when we get into the Fascist Caesar, the play that really did kind of make waves for Orson and really kind of help put him on the map. One of several productions, I think, that helped. I will say that a lot about Orson. There are several projects that, quote, put him on the map because different people, I think, discover him at different times. Of course, the main project that, quote, puts him on the map is the War of the Worlds broadcast, which we will talk about sometime next year, I'm sure. If not sooner, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hope has something in the works. I will just say that.
Yeah, well, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. We'll get sandwiches. We'll figure it out.
I love sandwiches.
We'll get hoagies, and we'll figure it out.
I mean, again, we're in Philly, so we might as well cheesesteaks and hoagies. Of course, I'm in Chicago, so it's going to be an Italian beef and maybe a Chicago.
Take you now to Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Yes, of course.
I love it. I can't fucking wait for what you come up with.
Oh God, it's gonna be so stupid. Let's just lower those expectations.
That's why
lower.
I can't wait. Hope.
Lower.
Hope
lower
as someone who is your friend and as someone who loves your threshold for stupid, I'm so fucking excited.
You know what? Alex Hirsch of Gravity Falls said on writing, if you can't make it smart, make it real stupid. And I really feel like you're bringing all of the fucking notes, and I'm just bringing, like, what if dumber? What if stupid?
And I feel like that's a good balance. I feel like we found our kind of balance here. And again, we'll continue to develop that over the course of this podcast.
Yes, when we get into radio, fucking dogs off the leash. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm so goddamn excited.
Honestly, I can't wait to just let you
talk about
let you go off the leash and info dump for several episodes. Because I've been doing it up to this point, and I can't wait for you to get the chance. And again, did I mention that we're finishing off this year with The Shadow?
I'm so fucking excited for that.
Here's the thing. I've got at least one episode dedicated to The Shadow. You get to determine how many episodes we do on The Shadow. I'm gonna leave that in your ballpark.
I already have a pull list of several episodes of The Shadow that I will recommend as a primer for new listeners. So
fucking primer.
Yeah.
Get fucking stoked, listeners. Like, we have got so much great shit planned for you over the course of the next 20 years. If I live that
go ahead and
long.
look it up on YouTube right now. It's called The Shadow, the Silent Avenger. It's my favorite episode of the show. It fucking rips. Yeah, totally worth it.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Orson couldn't do the laugh. Orson couldn't fucking do the laugh. He couldn't fucking do the laugh. I love that
We're gonna
factoid.
get there. We're gonna get there. We'll get there. As for right now, though, Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar.
I don't know. Hope anything else to add on Julius Caesar?
It's my big thing about Julius Caesar right now is that it is 10:35 at night, and
Cool.
We should stab him.
You know what? Let's fucking Ides of March have come, I Caesar, but not gone. And let's wrap this some bitch up. Hope, what have you got? What have you got going on? What's your social media? What are your plugs?
Holy shit. It's hiimhope.com, HIGH, imhope.com. That's where you'll find anything I care to put out, including recently I finally started putting out my creative writing, which I am working on more of as we speak. The only other podcast I have active right now is The Lanes Between, which I decided to record this podcast instead of editing an episode in which I interview a couple of major fanfic authors, which drops several weeks ago at the time of whenever you're hearing this episode. But if you go back to the episode that drops on August 1st, 2025, you'll hear me talking to a couple of major fanfic authors. I'm very excited about that. I'm editing that tomorrow. That's not happening tonight. That's not happening tonight.
No, it's not.
No,
Look, I fucking love that for you. I listened to the first episode of The Lanes Between. I'm not gonna lie. I have absolutely no idea about that fucking fandom. I listened to that episode
you are not
because
the target audience. I don't blame you, man.
I'm not. I listened to it because I love you so much.
I appreciate that.
And I will tell you, you're fucking great in it.
Well,
and I mean that legitimately. You are really fucking good in that episode.
Well, I truly appreciate it. And I'll say this, I play a drag queen in episode 3. And
I'm not going to listen to episode 3. Damn it.
I play
no context whatsoever.
I play her like James from Team Rocket from Pokemon.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's
fucking
good shit.
Perfect. Good
Prepare
for you.
for trouble and make it double. It's good shit.
To protect the world from devastation, to unite our peoples within our nation.
Fuck off. I actually wrote my own for Dungeons and Dragons. So I wrote, yeah.
I don't know if I tell you enough, but God, I love you. You're
man.
You're an amazing person, and I'm so.
I'm not going to drop that now. I'll drop it some future down the line when nobody's expecting it, but because I still have it memorized. Stephen, what do you got? Because that's all I got right now, man.
I've got so much hope. I am.
NyQuil is kicking in, and I am just like my bed is 3 feet away.
I've all the beverages that I've had are starting to like compound, so I'm right there with you. I will tell you, I am a co-host of the podcast Disenfranchised with our editor producer Tucker. We talk about Tucker. Love you, buddy. We talk about movies that were supposed to kick off long-running franchises, but for some reason or another didn't. And I also am a frequent collaborator on the Pod and the Pendulum podcast. I was supposed to be on a lot more episodes of their Summer of George, covering the movies of the Living Dead movies of George Romero. Because of various reasons, I've not been on as many episodes as I wanted to be. Sorry about that. But they're going on right now, and they cover all the horror franchises, one franchise, one movie at a time. And then, of course, as of the day of this recording, Hope, I found out that I was cast in a local community theater production of Inherit the Wind, one of my favorite plays of all time. I was cast as the local small town pastor, Reverend Jeremiah Brown.
Fuck yeah.
According to my director, quote, the only irredeemable character in the show. I love playing a villain, so I am super stoked. It was one of the top 4 roles that I requested to be in for the show. It is a show that I've done more than one time. This will be the second time I'm doing it. I will include a link to buy tickets in the show notes. If you are in the south suburbs of Chicago or even the south west suburbs of Chicago, come see us. We run the last weekend of September, first weekend of October, which will still be in the future as of the release of this episode. So come see us. Come see me. If you are a fan of the Wells University podcast, let me know, and I will give you a great big old hug. But yeah, it's going to be a fun production. I'm very excited. I legitimately at this point, I don't know who else is in the cast. That's how new this information is to me. I literally found out on my lunch break today that I was cast in the show.
Fucking incredible.
I'm
Congrats,
very
man.
excited. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be, unlike the last show that I did where I was announcing it, like as we were like in our final weeks of production. This time, if you are in the area, you can actually come see the production as of the release of this episode. So if you have the means and are in the area, please come by. I would love to see you. Just let me know you're a Wells U fan and you will get an extra big ups from me. But yeah, that's what I've got going on right now.
Is the French.
The French. I also want to shout out my buddy JP Leck, who may or may not be on this podcast in the future. He's been on Disenfranchised a few times. I don't know if he wants to be on a Wells podcast. His little brother absolutely will be at some point. But he is getting ready to release his second feature film, Circle City Supernatural 2, in which both me and our producer Tucker play prominent roles in the film. Be on the lookout for that. I'm pretty sure that'll hit streaming either later this year or sometime next. But yeah, like that's kind of all I've got in the hopper. We will. Oh, and I should probably mention the podcast socials. Shoot us an email, wellsupod@gmail.com. If there's something you want to say, give us a 5-star rating and review either on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Let people know how much you like us. We will read those reviews or emails directly here on the episode. One thing I meant to bring up that I have not brought up yet, Hope.
Okay.
This was an article released in May of this year. Somehow we managed to miss it. Nearly 40 years after his death, Orson Welles is back as a disembodied AI-generated voice and location-based storytelling app, Story. Basically, Orson Welles is now a voice in an AI voice in a storytelling. You can have a voice that's an AI-generated voice that sounds a lot like Orson read you stories, and I fucking hate it.
So, Stephen, I'm going to tell you a very, very quick story. So, I work in sheet metal manufacturing. Is my day job. And one of the machines I operate is a press brake, a machine that's designed to press down with 20 tons of press force to bend distinct angles into sheet metal. And it requires back gauges to determine the length of the flange in the sheet metal. I'm going to get real technical for a hot second. It's going to pay off. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's really fucking hot. Keep going.
This is where my professional side actually peeks through. Now, the machines we have were manufactured in 1981, which is more than 40 years ago, you'll note. And,
Orson Welles, still alive in 1981. Still alive. It should be mentioned.
Correct. And the one is starting to have hydraulic leak issues. Which means that it kind of stutters back and forth and modulates the length of the flange by about 50 thousandths of an inch, which doesn't sound that much, but when you've got a tolerance of 20 thousandths, it can fuck with you quite severely. And it registers as you're holding the sheet metal up to the back gauges in the press brake. It registers as a bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum. So talk about telltale heart. We literally describe it as the pulse of the machine. So I spend my day at work all day, every day, thinking, I have to stop the machine's heart from beating. And then you tell me that we've created a new AI monstrosity, and I am fully goddamn prepared to go full bore, Sarah Connor, Trinity, let's fucking go, death to the machines. Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Fuck everything about that. Fuck it.
And in case Hope did not make our position clear, this is an anti-AI podcast.
I fucking hate AI.
We are both of us somewhat disappointed. No, I will say we are both extremely disappointed in the Wells estate for allowing his voice to be used in this way. It is anathema. Shit. It is an affront to everything I believe the man stood for. It fucking sucks. Anyway, I'll include a link to that in the show notes if you want to read up more on that. I will give you just kind of the editorialized version. It fucking sucks. But yeah, make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Bluesky and YouTube at WellsUPod. Those are the only two places we are, except no substitutes. But yeah, that is episode 9, class number 9 of the Wells U podcast. Join us next week when we talk about Wells's first film, The Hearts of Age. We'll include a link to your homework in the show notes for this episode. It mainly just includes the YouTube link to the video itself. And so for my fellow TA, Hope Scow, and myself, until next time, dare I say it? No, I dare. Class dismissed.
And party on, dudes.
And party on, dudes.